Hey guys, Cast72 here. Hope everyone's doing well. Today's going to be a little different video. We're not going to do a drone flight. Like I said, I've got a lot of interest, guys, so I don't base my channel just on drones, even though by looking at my channel, obviously that's one of the things I like most. I do random things, so I just hope that no one expects this to be a complete drone channel. It's random stuff, it's just things that interest me, and I like to post videos on it. Not to mention, I like the whole idea of editing and trying different software and testing out different cameras and different qualities and whatnot. But anyway, I'm going on. Today's video, guys, is going to be not an unboxing, because you guys know how I feel about that. I'm just want you to see the package, and then after that, obviously everything will be opened up, and we're just going to talk about this product that I got. It's called the Smooth 4. I'll tell you why I really got this, guys. On some of my videos, I use just a typical tripod, like a Gorilla tripod. It's not a Gorilla tripod. It's a generic brand, but it works just as good. But I noticed, the stability on it. Even though the camera that I'm using, whether it be my Canon or my Fuji or the iPhone, the stability on it, stabilization anyway, is just not that good. And supposedly this is supposed to be pretty decent. It's not going to eliminate it completely. You still have to hold it and handle it properly in order for you to get the smooth video quality off of it without any stabilization interference. But anyway, that's really why I got it. And then also too, if you notice here, it's got some nice features which I'll go over here in a minute. It's got, you can zoom from the actual handle here. You don't have to touch the phone a lot of times. So really, it's just something I'm going to benefit from, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. And man, I want to pronounce this for y'all, but I'm probably going to kill it. But it looks like it's pronounced, I'd have to say ZHIYUN. I guess I hope I'm pronouncing it right, ZHIYUN. But yeah, that's what the video will be about today, guys. So hope you enjoy. We'll just go over a few of the features, the application, and yeah. All right, guys, let's get on with it. So guys, once you open up the box, it's got this nice case, styrofoam case that it comes in with the name on the front of the box, or the package, or the case, I should say. And you get your powering cable, your actual unit, and then they even include a little stand here for it, tripod stand. So what I'm going to do right now is, obviously we're going to go ahead and let me try to get this out of here. There we go. We're going to go ahead and set this up. Definitely want to charge it before we do anything, and I'll probably even go ahead and go to the my computer, connect it, and make sure there's no firmware updates that need to be done. Nice, they include a little rubber band here to hold it in place, the power cable, that is. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way. And I'm curious to see how charged it comes out of the box. So we're just gonna go ahead and connect my portable charger. By the way, it comes with a Type-C charging cable. Let me see if the camera will focus on this. Oh, come on. There we go. Type-C powering cable. Oh, another thing I want to mention, guys, is when you charge this, you want to charge it on this port, not the port that's located on this. That will basically short it out or definitely damage it. I read that on the real quick reference guide that you get when you first open it up, the quick start guide. It actually tells you, where did I find it? But anyway, speaking about this, you'll also have to download the app, which you can find on the App Store. It's called ZHIYUN Play. On that note, there does seem to be some sort of an issue with it, with the Android compatibility. I'm not going to read up on this, guys, because I have an iPhone, but apparently you might want to read up on this if you have an Android. I'm sure they've probably fixed it by now. I don't know, because this has been out for a little while now, so I'm pretty sure maybe the software's already been resolved, or if it is a software-related issue. But that comes, those two pamphlets come inside this nice little case, kind of like a CD case holder, and got the logo. But real quick, let me see if I can find that section where it says about the charging. Actually, you know what it was, guys? I wanted to find out about the charging, and I didn't see it in here, so I downloaded the app, which I'll go over briefly with you. And that explains that you're not supposed to use, again, that port for charging. You're supposed to use the base port for charging. So just make sure that, because it does tell you that if you try to plug it into the top right here, you'll definitely short the circuit out. So it's funny that they wouldn't put that on the quick start guide, because to me that sounds pretty damn important, because if you've never had this unit before and you saw the cable, I mean, you could easily make the mistake of putting it in the wrong port. Anyway, so let me go ahead and get this charged, and once it's fully charged, we'll go over some more details about it. For right now, let me go ahead and plug this into my battery pack. And okay, that's what I wanted to see. So technically it's almost 75% charged. So I'm assuming it's 25, 50, 75, 100. So we're gonna wait for that last light to be solid, or in this case, it might be that all lights turn off once fully charged. Again, I just got this. I'm still trying to go over some of the details. Once it's fully charged, I'll come back. We'll go over some of the instruction manuals that you can download and get from the app that you download from, either the Google Store or App Store. And yeah, we'll go from there. We'll see what kind of features this has and give it a quick rundown. All right, guys, be back in a bit. Okay, guys, so at this point we've got a full charge. Just to show you really quick. There you go. So you got a full charge. And just shut it off real quick, because also I want to point out, guys, when you power this unit on, you don't want to have it in the locked position. You want to have it this way, but I didn't want the motors to be struggling to balance because the phone's not in there, because I'm using the phone to record. So just, you know, that's why I just powered it on and shut it off really quick, just to show you that it's got full power now. The other thing I wanted to mention was you can put it in the lock position, but it has to be put in this position when it's powered on. So anyway, let's see what's going on as far as firmware updates, because I don't even know if this needs any. So let me just go ahead and plug the cable into my PC. It might have to just struggle balancing without the phone, because I actually have to power it on to initiate the firmware update. Oh, actually you don't. Interesting. So as I plugged it in, guys, it's already pretty much, I guess, well, we'll see if we have to power it on or not. And let me just check something really quick. Yeah, sweet, it's connected. So not only you don't have to worry about having it physically powered on. If you look at the actual, can I zoom in here? Yeah, I can. If you look at the actual setup, you can already see where it's connected to my unit, my PC that is. And if you click on that, it's got a log and some firmware. I wonder if it keeps the videos on there. I'll have to check once we do a test on that. But anyway, I already went to the website, which is here. You'll find that at www.ZHIYUN-tech.com, which is basically the ZHIYUN website. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. You want to go to the download section and you want to go to firmware. Once you're at the firmware link, you want to go ahead and download the ZHIYUN calibration upgrade tool. And allow that to download. And then once that's downloaded, we're going to go ahead and open that. Go ahead and run the setup executable file. Okay, hold on here. There it goes. I don't know what that was. Windows is always glitching, guys. And if you're familiar with Windows, that tends to be a common issue with Windows. Anyway, we got it, so go ahead and hit yes. And you're going to be presented with the typical, you know, do you wish to download this, and where's the location you're going to want it to go to. So go ahead and just, you know, hit next. It's going to show you the file destination folder, install, and it's as quick as that. It's finished, and go ahead and hit next. And here, interesting, it says driver name. It gives you the name of the driver for this specific unit. It says not needed, no device for update present. So that's pretty cool. So that's how it distinguishes whether or not it's going to need a firmware update, is simply running the executable file. So what I would do is probably put a folder somewhere on your desktop. That way you can easily open that folder and immediately run that application, and what that'll do is it'll search to see if there's any firmware updates, and if there's not, it'll tell you like it just did right there. So you might want to just label this something different. Here, I'll show you guys what I would do if I were you. So once you download it, just keep it in a place where you want to know, where you always know where it's at. For now, I'm just going to put it on my desktop because I'm going to just do this for demonstration purposes. Let me zoom in a little bit here. I don't want to get the video pixelated with because I'm aiming at a monitor. But in my case, I'm just going to go ahead and rename it. This is going to be Smooth 4 Zip instead of the name they had it as. And basically what you do is you open up the zip file. When you run that up, you're going to go ahead and just run this executable file. Click that. Once it comes up, you're going to be presented with this right here, which is, like I said, typical Windows, just letting you know, hey, do you want to allow the following program? It has an unknown publisher, etc., etc. I just hit yes, and what that's going to do is it's going to run the CH34ISER file, which is for the unit, and it's going to search, and it's going to tell you welcome to the device driver wizard. You're going to hit next, and then it tells you right here, your machine but did not find any devices to be updated. So it runs a self-executable file update for the firmware, and if it doesn't see anything that it needs, you'll be presented with what you see here, which is the status. It gives you the status of the device you have connected, which in this case it's called the Smooth, and in my case I bought the Smooth 4, and then it tells you shortly after that the status that there's no update needed or present. So you're done with this at this point. So I just wanted to show that to you guys in case you were interested in doing the update for the firmware, or if you didn't know how to. And then, like I said, just keep this somewhere here. In my case, I'm going to keep it right here, and that way if I ever need to update, I know exactly where it's at, and just to keep up and make sure the firmware is the latest. Okay, so now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and get back to the unit. And at this point, I'll go ahead and present some of the function keys, and along with the function keys, just give you a quick rundown on how it all works. And yeah, we'll just continue with that. Okay guys, and so now we'll just go ahead and go on to the quick functions of this Smooth 4 device. And what we're going to do first and foremost is, well, before you do anything, let me also go over this. You want to balance the phone that you're going to attach this to, and by doing that is basically you'll put it in the unlock position and basically set your phone on the inside. As you can see, mine balances out, it goes straight to 0 even though I'm tapping on it and moving it around, so it's already balanced, so I don't really want to mess with that at this point, but I'm showing you how to do it. Once you put your phone in here, you know, with your typical clamp holding clamp assembly, you're going to go ahead and at this point, this locking screw right here, let me see if I can zoom in on that for you. That locking screw, that's where you'll either extend this out or in depending on your preference and the weight of your phone, and that will actually balance it for you. Once you find the right balance, lock it and you're good to go. So back to where we were, which once you balance, so you know, rule of thumb, completely power the unit to its full extent, check for firmware on the website like we just demonstrated, and now balance the phone before powering on. Once you, because what happens is if it's not balanced, then these motors are constantly trying to you know, set the weight properly, so they're constantly working, and you're going to just drain the unit's battery quicker that way. So that's why it's important that you balance it first. So now once it's balanced, like I just showed you, go ahead and power the unit on, make sure it's in the unlock position, and then hold the power button for a few seconds, release it. There you go, it's already balanced. And we're going to go ahead and go to the app. And once it's at the app, you're going to go ahead and see if I can go ahead and get this focused for you guys. You're going to go ahead and go to the connect, and when I did mine, it immediately found the device and connected to it. It found the Smooth 4. So basically once you're there, just connect to it. It says you're connected, and then just hit camera, and there you go, you're presented to this here. As you can see right now, I have it in selfie mode. Let me back out of here. So to get it out of selfie mode, just go ahead and right here on the toggle, you're going to go ahead and just tap that once, and now it switches it over to the front camera, or the front camera, which was here. So just a quick summary, guys. I mean, I'm not going to go over all the details, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. Their app is actually pretty damn good that you don't need to worry about not knowing what this device does. They have a very good PDF file in the app itself, and it demonstrates absolutely everything, all the buttons and what it does, everything, absolutely, a calibration, everything. I just want to go over the highlights with you really quick. So when you open up the app, you're presented with this layout, which basically gives you your battery percentage on your phone, and as well on the unit, which you can see it's 100 full charge. However, my phone's at 27%, so we're gonna have to get this video going. And then to the left of that, you're gonna have where either your HDR is set or not set, your timer if you want to do a timing shot, your flash, your pictures, Bluetooth, and then your home button, which will basically just take you right back to where we started, to this screen right here. So let's go ahead and get back to the camera. Okay. It's pretty much as simple as that. If you look at the right down here to the bottom, that just kind of tells you where you're at as far as what kind of picture you're shooting in right now, what kind of stage. I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. I'm trying to do both, and I don't have, my camera's not wide enough to get these both going. So like if you, let's see, how can I do this? If you go to menus here on the top left, that's going to bring you to this setup. Okay. And what happens at this point is you're presented with a lot of functions and adjustments that you can make using this toggle down here, or this circular directional key. So if you click, for instance, to the right, that's going to move your choices to the right. Okay, and then vice versa to the left. And if you click, for instance, if you want to go to adjust anything on here, you would click the center button. And what that does is for each icon, it tells you what you can adjust to it. So in this case, I have it set to default for my camera, or you can change it to 180-degree pan, 3x3 pan, multi-expo, long expo, slow motion, time lapse, you know, motion time lapse, and vertigo. So again, you know, we'll just go over the real quick highlights of this. You can always, I'll show you here in a minute what I'm talking about when I reference the app. So to get back out, just go ahead and hit the button again, and as you can see, those options are gone. Same thing with the flash, you would click to the right. So this is basically going to be your up, down, right, left. You can even use the scroll function. So if you look up there, you can scroll left to right and choose which menu option you want to adjust. So like, let's say we wanted to go to flash, and we click, you stop at flash if you're using the directional button, and you click that center button. That's your choices. So now you can adjust your flash to being off, auto, on, or steady light. So I'm going to keep mine off for now and just choose the center button for my option choice. And then next to that, you got timer. You have timer, you can set it from 2 to 5 to 10-second delay, and set it off for now. Your HDR function, you can either have it on or off. Your white balance, you can choose auto, sunny day, cloudy day, fluorescent day, incandescent, and those are your choices. I'm going to just do auto for now. Down here, again, just using the directional key, you can either choose to click top, bottom, right, left, or you can use the scroll wheel. Your resolution, I've already adjusted mine. When I first powered it on, it was set to 720p at 30 frames per second. You have your choice of 1080p at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 60, 4K at 24, 4K at 30, and 4K at 60. I'm going to set mine to 4K at 30. And you click right to that. That's going to be your manual. You can either set that to on or off. Your scene, next. You can either do motion or walking. Set mine to walking. And then you have your filters. That's earlier when I had mentioned what I would explain this little icons for. If you look, all of a sudden as we change these, you're going to notice this will change too, and that's indicating whether you're in original mode, green, time, twilight, lemon, dawn, etc., etc. It just gives you different lighting conditions for your video quality. And go back to original, and then lastly you got your settings. And for that, again, you can either choose to go down by pushing the circular toggle button, or you can use the circular choice, and basically just that'll also guide you in choosing your options. So you've got beauty cam, you've got your zoom scenery to either low or high, your pano, your image, electronic image stabilization, whether it's on or off. You can choose to either have a grid on or off. I'm just going to keep mine off. And then you have your camera mode, which is pro, or you can choose to have original. I'm just going to keep it at pro because that's how it came.
and we can go all the way back up again and choose the general settings, and that just gives you your device name, device model, and software version. And that's really it as far as the app goes, and its features. Now getting back to the, if you want to get out of that screen, by the way, just go ahead and click the menu button, and that takes you back out. Now this button right here, if you click that and it stays lit, basically if I was in front of the camera, you would pretty much use this to put a frame around your face, and what that does is it automatically now will follow that whatever's inside that square. So it's kind of got like a follow me mode, and what that does is basically this will automatically, the camera will automatically follow you no matter where you're moving. It'll keep track of you. That's what that does. So now let's get more to these buttons on the actual unit itself. So we already know that if you press this button, that's going to bring your menus on the screen. See? So that takes care of that. To the right of that, you're going to have your display button, and what that does is basically it'll either show you the display on the bottom of your iPhone or your device, Android, and that just takes it away. You can either show it or hide it. That's what that does. If you go down here, that's the actual button that I showed you earlier, where if you click that, that's going to focus on the zoom of what you have focused on your camera. And the way you'd control that is with this knob on the left. So if you look at the screen here, you see how it's zooming in to the top of my TV, and scroll back or zoom back. That's what that takes care of. Now if you click that and the light's off, now what that does, let me see if I can get up close here, is what it'll do now is it'll work on the focus. See how the wall looks blurred, and now the wall kind of comes into focus here. That's what that takes care of. So again, when it's lit, that takes care of zoom, and when it's not lit, that takes care of focus. Again, using this left toggle wheel, or knob I should say. This of course is just your recording button, and to the right of that's your camera button. So take a photo, record. Now let's see if this of course is your power, what do you call it, your indication lights for your power. All 4 lights you're at 100%, 3 lights 75, 250, 125. Same thing with charging. Once it's charging, it'll indicate by each LED lighting up. Once it's at full, all lights will be turned off. This is going to be for your this toggle button right here is for, it's going to be for pan follow mode and then lock. That's the L and the PF. So that's for pan follow and lock, and then your power button. And if you go to the unit and turn this around, and you've got this toggle button, or this little button right here, you've got a top button and bottom button, and what this does, and so on this one on the top, if you were to click that, that will go into what they call I guess it's like a follow me. It's like a follow me mode, but you're actually holding on to the stabilizer, but it's at full speed. So like if you were doing an action shot and you were moving pretty rapidly, this would be able to keep up with no problem, and that would be activated again by if you push that. But it has to be while you're pressing it. You know, you have to keep this button pressed, and it'll be a full speed mode. It can follow, you know, synchronously at full speed once you click that. The bottom key, or the bottom button, if you click that, that's the following mode button as well. But when pressing that button, the stabilizer enters the following mode, which is when double pressing the button, the tilt axis motor and the roll axis motor go back to an initial state. And let me see here. Other than that, it's an awesome stabilizer. I can't see anything wrong with it. Seems to be in good quality. Like I said, it comes with this tripod. Trying to think if there's anything else. Okay, I know what I wanted to mention now. I'm going to show you what the app has included, which I think is pretty cool. And you'll see that this is the reason why I don't really think you're going to need anything other than the app to further explain any other features on this device. You also have the option of going to YouTube, and you can find out some more information there. But just let me go over something really quick here on the device itself within the app, and most of your information will be answered if you have any other questions, and just go over some of the other features on the app as well, aside from what we've already gone over with the camera function keys and how it adapts to the actual camera settings when you're in the camera mode. So let's go ahead and do that. And so guys, now we're just going to focus on the actual app, since we've already covered what connecting to the device does. So on the bottom, if you look at the icons, we're going to start from left to right. The first one has everything to do with connecting to the stabilizer, the Smooth 4. Next to that, these are some where you keep your albums, the photos and videos you shot. Now, what's cool about this is I did a little sample here with my hand in front of the camera, or the stabilizer, I should say. And what I like about it is, let's say you wanted to edit this. You can throw it, or you can trash it, you can save it, you can edit it. That's what that little paintbrush icon on the bottom third icon from left to right is. And then some information on it, basically in what format it was shot in, what size, what date and time, and what device was used. In my case, it was the iPhone X. So if you click the edit, it brings up your video, and on the top center icon, you can change that from 16:9 frame, 1:1 frame, or 9:16 frame, which is pretty cool. And not only that, you can also add some music to it. So like, let's say I wanted to add, let's see, we'll go with, I guess we'll do soothing. Music backgrounds, so you can put into your video, which I think is pretty cool. And then of course, if you hit to the center icon on the bottom, that can just help you with kind of like your filters, if you wanted to make it look, tonal, light, luscious, elapse, and then back to original. And then to the right of that, on the bottom icons, that basically lets you adjust the video sequence. You can edit, delete, and kind of do whatever it is you need to do. If you click edit, it gives you more options. You can change the brightness, the contrast, the saturation, the speed, the voice, or the volume, and then of course you can always change the seconds and how it's playing. I think that's quite a few features for editing tools with this that comes with this app, just to kind of make your videos somewhat a little bit more customized. So that's what I wanted to bring your attention on that. And so continuing on, if you go to the bottom and you click the center icon, that just puts you up on your, if you've registered with them, you can publish a lot of your videos or camera pictures, whatever it is you're using your camera for, whether it's video or photos. You can upload that and show your work to the social network. And then to the right of that, going again from left to right on the bottom. If you click on the fourth icon, this basically just takes you to a lot of their updates, people that are on their their social network, a lot of the photos that they've put up and videos they've put up under pics. And then of course you can go to follow, and that's just basically anything that's coming up lately if you're following anyone. Discover, that's some of the latest activities going on with the brand, what's trending, most watched tutorials. That's another thing too, guys. If there's anything I left out or I didn't go over, they actually have a YouTube channel. You can search for that. I'll put the link in the description if I can find it, and it'll show you a lot of the overviews of the user interface as indicated here, and that can probably help you guys out if you have any other questions or some of the things I might not have gone over. And then lastly, on the fifth icon at the very bottom, that's just basically some settings that you can adjust about the company, some feedback, saved items. Of course you have to be signed in. Frequently asked questions, which will just basically take you into a section where if you have any information, like for instance refund and replacement, just any questions you might have that pertains to the product. It even has their phone number here and the helpline. So let's see, the tutorial, if you click that, the tutorial is basically kind of instructions on some of the features, initialization description, firmware upgrade description, calibration. It tells you a lot of the information you need for each specific device that they make and that you might have. I think that's pretty cool. You have all these features on this app, which I think is pretty cool. Oh yes, but before we go, this is what I wanted to mention to you, that if you click up on the top right question mark, that's going to load up a PDF file. And in that PDF file, as you can see, this is the user guide for your specific device. And this covers everything, guys. It covers the battery and charging instructions, the installation, the use of the stabilizer. I mean, just everything. I mean, this is really all you need in order to have any questions answered that you might have. It lists every little portion of the stabilizer and its functions. It tells you about the battery charging. It tells you how to do the installation of the phone and the calibration. It tells you every function key and what it does. It's very thorough, guys. I mean, this is all you'd really need to understand everything about the unit itself. That's where I got most of my information from before I started the video, just to follow up on what it does and understanding it more. Oh, and here's the part that I wanted to tell you guys about earlier, where it says about charging the phone. As you can see right there, it tells you do not charge via the micro USB port on the tilt axis, otherwise it may lead to a short or a burn in the circuit board. That's what I was mentioning to you guys earlier in the video, that's not a charging port. And then it shows you where to download the app. You can scan the QR code for either Android or iOS. Tells you how to connect the device, and it tells you how to initialize the method for a 6-side calibration. Also, it shows you how to adjust the motor for fine-tuning, the firmware upgrade steps, which we went over already, and then some basic specifications of the unit itself. So yeah, very, very informative, and I just wanted to show you guys this, that you do have all this information here if you need it, to your discretion. And that's gonna sum it up, guys. I do appreciate you watching as always, and I hope this was informative to some of you guys. Yeah, if you have any questions, just put them down in the comment section below and I'll be sure to answer them for you. Yeah, all right guys, that takes care of that. I hope you all enjoyed the video. This is Cast 72. Peace out.